Hi, this is Tutor P, and this is lesson 662. Title of today's lesson is the difference between isolated and desolate. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. All right, an isolated place is a long way from towns and it's difficult to reach. Now, both of them could have something to do with place, but with isolated, the focus is more on distance. That this town is way far away from other areas where large populations of people live. Now, to be honest, most of the time if we say that that town is isolated, it probably has a smaller population, but it could still have hundreds or thousands of people there, but it's just very far away from other places. So distance is the focus with isolated. All right, let's continue. Number 2, set apart and cut off from others. All right, this is another thing with isolated. Usually somebody is forcing you to be separated from others. 3, placed in quarantine. All right, well, we would only use isolate with this, not desolate. So if you had a disease or a sickness and there was a risk that you could spread it to other people, they put you in quarantine, then we would say that you were isolated, not desolate. All right. Separated from another substance in a pure form. So in the science in the lab, if you're separating one substance from another, you could isolate one particular substance. Number 5, feeling lonely. This is an area where there could be a slight amount of a crossover because they both have something to do with lonely. This is more of a general one. All right, let's look at desolate next. Desolate means deserted and without people or having very few people. So now desolate could be really nobody. It could be 0 people there. Or sometimes it's used in a figurative sense, especially a place that used to be busy, that used to have many thousands of people there. And for some reason now everybody's gone, or there's only like a small handful of people around. Then we would say the place is desolate. In that sort of sense. So that's different from isolated. Where isolated, the focus is on distance. With desolate, the focus is on the very, very, either no people or very, very tiny amount of people. All right, let's continue. And we only have a second meaning here for desolate. Feeling very sad and lonely and without hope, especially crushed by grief. All right. So this is also sadness, but this one's a little stronger, especially when there's no hope, or, crushed by grief could be related to like a death, where, a loved one died and there's no hope that they're coming back again. So we would use desolate more in that situation. All right, let's take a look. We got 8 examples here, so you get a better feel of how we would use it. Here's the first one. She lives in an isolated town way up in the mountains. So again, the focus is on the distance, way up there. So, like I said, there could still be hundreds of thousands of people living up that mountain. It's just very far away from other places. Number 2, that prisoner was isolated and put in solitary confinement because he started too many fights. All right, now again, they purposely separated him from other prisoners because he was a troublemaker, and they put him by himself. Solitary confinement is usually a punishment. All right, number 3, all the coronavirus patients were isolated to a particular ward. All right, now this one's about the disease. We definitely use isolated with that one. If there's a risk that you might spread the disease to other people, they'll just put you all in one area. All right, number 4, some question the existence of that virus because it has never been isolated. Isolated means that, they can separate it and say, well, here, we have a sample of it. So it's never been isolated. It means you don't actually have a sample of it. So it's been separated from another substance and you can identify it. All right, number 5, she felt isolated after being expelled from the group. All right, now this is one about being lonely. Although I wouldn't say it's totally without hope because you probably could do other things and go on to other things. But at least for the time being, you're not very happy because you're forced to be away from this group that you used to be part of. All right, and number 6, after the mines closed, everyone moved out of the town due to no jobs. It is now a desolate place. So in this case, it could have become a ghost town. Maybe really nobody is there. In that sense, you could say that it is desolate. Or number 7, that mall used to be very busy with thousands of shoppers, but slowly, due to the economy, more and more stores left until it finally closed down. So even as it was getting towards the end there with just a few shops left and hardly any people, you could almost already say it's desolate because there used to be so many more. Now it is just a desolate building. So now maybe if there's really no stores there, then you definitely could use it. All right, and the last one here. Ever since her husband died, she just stayed home and has become a desolate widow. So again, this is more the feeling of crushed by grief or without hope. All right, I hope you got a better feel of when we might be more likely to use isolated and when we're more likely to use desolate. Anyway, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.